Hi guys, and welcome to the first World Cup daily show that I'm going to be making every day, obviously, because it's daily. I'm just going to look through the games on that day, look through the main game, the game that I watched, because I'm not going to be able to watch every game, but the game that I watched, I'm going to be giving a short sort of summary match report thing, giving sort of a few thoughts, giving my man of the match. If you do enjoy the videos, please subscribe. You're probably going to be saying, oh, there's thousands and thousands of these sorts of videos out there. What makes yours sort of unique? Nothing, literally nothing. Obviously there was only one game today. It was the World Cup opener, Russia versus Saudi Arabia, a game which people have been looking forward to since the draw has come out. I mean, it wasn't the most attractive sort of game to watch. They're not the two most high profile names in the tournament, obviously, but you know, it was exciting for me in particular because there are a lot of players out there who I've never seen play before, a lot of unknowns, and it was quite an entertaining game in the end. Obviously Russia going into the tournament with a lot of pressure on them to perform. Obviously as hosts that's always like that, but there wasn't much expectation. I mean, they were depicted as the worst Russian team in national team history or something like that by the local media in the last few days, so the expectations weren't particularly high, but they went into the game and they've ditched their sort of old back three. They've still got Ignacevic, but they've ditched Berezutski brothers, and I thought that I was very impressed with Russia. Obviously they were against a very poor Saudi Arabia side, but they really took the initiative, scored 5 brilliant goals and won the game 5-0. Obviously the first goal, Alexander Golovin, who's the player I've been looking forward to seeing most for Russia, just because I've seen him play for CSKA in Moscow against Arsenal, and he looked like a really exciting player. He delivered a brilliant cross into Gazinski, who headed it home, and throughout those opening periods, Russia were really pressing. They were very aggressive. They caught Saudi Arabia because they identified that Saudi Arabia's weakness. Obviously, they like to play out from the back. They like to play just generally. They like to keep the ball short passing, sort of trying to emulate this tiki-taka style from Spain, but they don't really have the players to implement that system. And you could see that they weren't the most technically gifted, especially their defenders. They lost the ball in those sort of dangerous areas a lot of the time, and Russia really exploited that by pushing them and pressing them very high, and yeah, that cost them for the second goal. I mean, Saudi Arabia very sloppy for that whole half, and Russia caught them out. Very nice move, ended up going to Cheryshev, takes it round the defender, very nice touch, majestic touch, and he finishes it, and it was a very good goal. And that was the pattern for most of the half. Russia were a bit wasteful going forward. They missed a few good chances. Their final ball was a bit lackluster, but on the whole they were very, very aggressive, and that really helped them because, as I've said, Saudi Arabia had most of the ball. They dominated the ball, but they didn't really have any sort of player who could really drive them forward. They had no real thrust from their team. No one to aim for, no figurehead of the attacks, no one particularly creative. They had quite a few players who were very neat on the ball, and they kept the ball further forward. But when it was sort of in deeper areas, they kept losing the ball to Russia's high press. And Russia, to be honest, could have had more if they'd been a bit more ruthless, especially in the first half. Second half, there was a long period of the game where nothing really happened until about the 60th minute, where Russia didn't really have to go for it because they were comfortable. Saudi Arabia kind of kept the ball. But then Russia did turn it on, especially the introduction of Zuba, a very strong, tall, sort of classical big man up front who held the ball up very well, and I think he scored with one of his first touches. It might even be in his first touch. Another very good ball in from Golovin, header into the back of the net. It was very easy, very poor defending from Saudi Arabia. I thought Saudi Arabia's two centre-backs were awful. But then they got the fourth goal. The fourth goal has to be, for me, the pick of the bunch. Superb goal from Cheryshev, who actually came on in the game in the first half for Zagoev, who's Russia's star man. He came on for him, and I was a bit disappointed because I think Zagoev is a very good player, but Cheryshev came in and was very influential, drove down that left-hand side, and this goal was superb with the outside of his boot, sort of set up for him nicely, curled it into the top corner. Lovely, lovely goal. Obviously the fifth in the last minute, Golovin bent it around the wall. And for me, Golovin was my man of the match. Alexander Golovin created 2 goals and scored a goal. And what I said before the game, I thought he was the player who's going to really stand out for Russia, and he was very good. And looking at the Saudi Arabia team, I feel very worried for them against Uruguay and Egypt, because they've got a lot of good players. Imagine what Mo Salah could do to this defence. Imagine what Luis Suarez or Edison Cavani could do. It's worrying times for Saudi Arabia. I don't see them scoring a goal in this tournament, to be honest. I don't know much about the Egyptian defence, but the Russian defence didn't have to be spectacular to keep them out today. So obviously it's renewed optimism it's a creation of optimism for Russia with this huge win. And Saudi Arabia, I mean, they're fucking terrible. They are fucked. I wanted to say they were quite nice for the neutral, because they just made it like Russia had quite a few chances. But anyway, that is it for this first World Cup daily. Russia 5, Saudi Arabia 0. It's all begun, and I can't wait for it to continue.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.
Saudi Arabia 0. It's all begun, and I can't wait for it to. It's all begun, and I can't wait for it to